High above the Philippine archipelago, a Gulfstream G550 cuts through the clouds. This is no ordinary aircraft. This is RPC 5219, a jet shrouded in mystery, its ownership unclear, its purpose debated. Two Philippine presidents have graced its luxurious interiors. Former President Rodrigo Duterte and current President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. But the whispers surrounding RPC 5219 are growing louder. The Filipino people demand answers. What is the story behind this mysterious aircraft? The tale of RPC 5219 is intertwined with the rise and fall of an airline called Pacific Pearl Airways. Founded in 2006, the airline navigated the turbulent skies of the Philippine aviation industry for nearly a decade before vanishing in 2015. But like a phoenix from the ashes, it re-emerged in 2016, rebranded as Pilipinas Asian Pearl Airways. This reincarnation, however, was short-lived, with the airline ceasing operations again in December 2022. The connection between this defunct airline and the jet used by two presidents is a thread that unravels further with each passing day. The ownership of RPC 5219 remains a tightly guarded secret, fueling suspicions and raising questions about potential misuse of power and government funds. Pacific Pearl Airways emerged in 2006, aiming to soar amidst the competitive Philippine aviation landscape. Led by Eligio Jimenez, and later his son Christopher Miel Jimenez, the airline commenced operations with chartered flights. They secured a coveted legislative franchise under Republic Act No. 9303, granting them the privilege to operate within the country. However, the airline's journey was far from smooth. Financial struggles and operational challenges led to the suspension of its air operating certificate by the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. In 2015, Pacific Pearl Airways ceased operations, its wings seemingly clipped for good. But the story didn't end there. In a surprising turn of events, the airline was resurrected in 2016 under a new name, Pilipinas Asian Pearl Airways. This time, it secured a new franchise under Republic Act No. 10901. Despite these efforts, the airline's second life was also marked by inactivity. It filed for a new air operating certificate in 2021. But its application remained pending. By December 2022, Pilipinas Asian Pearl Airways had once again faded into dormancy. The legal framework surrounding Pilipinas Asian Pearl Airways, particularly Republic Act No. 10901, adds another layer of intrigue to the mystery of RPC 5219. This act, which granted the airline its second franchise, contains a peculiar provision. Section 10 empowers the President of the Philippines to take control of the airline's operations during national emergency, when the public interest so requires. This provision raises eyebrows and prompts questions about the circumstances under which such control might be exercised. Was this provision ever invoked? Could it be related to the use of RPC 5219 by Presidents Duterte and Marcos Jr.? The lack of transparency surrounding the airline's operations and its connection to the presidential jet deepens the mystery. The very existence of this provision within the airline's franchise agreement fuels speculation about potential influence and hidden agendas. Was this provision included with the specific intent of facilitating the use of RPC 5219 for presidential travel, bypassing standard protocols and scrutiny? The Filipino people deserve to know the truth. The most perplexing question surrounding RPC 5219 is its ownership. Despite numerous attempts by journalists and concerned citizens, the identity of the aircraft's owner remains shrouded in secrecy. Official records offer no clarity. Flight Radar 24, a global flight tracking service, lists the owner simply as private. The Securities and Exchange Commission, responsible for corporate ownership records, claims to have no information and defers inquiries to the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. CAAP, in turn, has remained tight-lipped, citing privacy concerns. This lack of transparency is deeply unsettling. Speculation is rife about the true ownership of RPC 5219. Some believe it is connected to Pilipinas Asian Pearl Airways, despite the airline's dormant status. Others whisper about powerful businessmen with close ties to the government. The absence of clear ownership information raises serious concerns about potential conflicts of interest, hidden financial dealings, and the misuse of public funds. Section 5. Presidential flights and public funds. RPC 5219's presence in the public eye is largely due to its use by two Philippine presidents. Former President Rodrigo Duterte famously used the aircraft for a controversial trip to The Hague in March 2025 to appear before the International Criminal Court. He faced an arrest warrant related to his brutal war on drugs. Current President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. has also been a frequent flyer on RPC 5219. He has used the jet for various domestic trips, including visits to Hauge City, Davao City, Bongao, Tawi-Tawi, Isabela, and Puerto Princesa City. While presidents are entitled to secure transportation, the use of a privately owned aircraft, especially one with such opaque ownership, raises red flags. The financial implications of these presidential flights are a matter of significant public concern. Who is footing the bill for these trips? The Office of the President allegedly covered the cost of Duterte's flight to The Hague. However, the lack of transparency surrounding the bidding process and the selection of a private aircraft over commercially available options raises eyebrows. Section 6. A call for transparency and accountability. The murky saga of RPC 5219 underscores a deeply troubling trend in Philippine governance: a lack of transparency and accountability. The Filipino people deserve to know the truth about this mysterious aircraft. Who owns it? Why was it used by two presidents? How were these flights funded? The silence from government agencies, the elusive ownership trail, and the questionable financial transactions all point to a system that prioritizes secrecy over public interest. This lack of transparency erodes public trust and fuels suspicion. The Filipino people are not naive. They understand the implications of hidden agendas and the potential for corruption. The government must be held accountable for its actions. The truth about RPC 5219 must be revealed. Section 7. Whispers in the Senate seeking answers. The mystery surrounding RPC 5219 has not gone unnoticed by Philippine lawmakers. Senator Amy Marcos, sister of President Bongbong Marcos, has taken a keen interest in the case. She has publicly questioned the aircraft's ownership and the financial transactions related to its use. Senator Amy Marcos has called for a Senate inquiry to shed light on these matters. Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, a staunch ally of former President Duterte, has also voiced concerns. He suggested sharing any findings from the Senate inquiry with former U.S. President Donald Trump, hinting at the possibility of freezing the assets of the aircraft's owner if they are found to be involved in any wrongdoing. The involvement of these influential senators, each with their own allegiances and motivations, adds another layer of complexity to the story. Will their efforts lead to genuine transparency, or will they become entangled in political maneuvering? The Filipino people are watching closely. Section 8. Public outcry, a demand for truth. The mystery of RPC 5219 has ignited a firestorm on social media and in public discourse. Filipinos from all walks of life are demanding answers, expressing their outrage, and calling for accountability. Prominent figures like Sas Rogando Sasot, Monchito Nocon, and Alex Monteagudo have used their platforms to raise questions and demand transparency. Ordinary citizens are adding their voices to the chorus, sharing their concerns, and demanding to know how their hard-earned taxes are being spent. The hashtag #RPC 5219 has become a rallying cry for transparency and a symbol of the public's right to know. The public outcry surrounding RPC 5219 is a testament to the growing awareness and engagement of Filipino citizens in matters of governance. They are no longer content to be kept in the dark. They demand accountability from their leaders and transparency in the use of public funds. Section 9. The unresolved enigma of RPC 5219. As RPC 5219 continues to soar through the Philippine skies, its mystery casts a long shadow. The lack of transparency surrounding its ownership, its use by two presidents, and the questionable financial transactions all point to a deeply troubling disregard for accountability and the public trust. The Filipino people deserve answers. They have a right to know who is behind this shadowy aircraft and how it is being used. The calls for transparency and accountability must not be ignored. The truth, like a plane grounded too long, must eventually take flight. The saga of RPC 5219 is far from over. It serves as a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance, the power of public scrutiny, and the enduring fight for truth and transparency in the Philippines. The Filipino people, like passengers on a plane delayed, deserve a safe and accountable journey.